Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sognsdal Saga series here on World Master Channel, in which Norway is still holding together. But I've kind of noticed something regarding, like how many vassals do we have? Well, not as much as we used to, especially on some of these lands. I've noticed that my vassal of Viken, led by Jarl Brynjolf II Tedemundsen, whose grandfather was my uncle Brynjolf I. But one thing I noticed as of late is that he's been expanding a lot, and all these little autonomous vassals I used to have, well, they're now getting dwindled, which even made its way up here, as he's just won that war now, and he's about to take this territory for himself now, in which we can even wonder, when are you gonna stop, boy? Because when you have many sons, all these Jarldoms that used to be there would go to you, because you have 2 of them now. And I'm sure in the future you're going to usurp all of the land for yourself, then you'll probably get the land soon. And when you grow up, one would think is like, well, is he worthy of his vote? Well, here's one problem for Brynjolf II. He is not a candidate, because he does not have a claim to the title of Norway. It doesn't say that. So he's going to be one to watch out for. But keep in mind, this is still in the era where everybody is bitter because of the whole civil war and tyranny idea. And I've been trying to think, what's the best way to reduce all this tyranny you've built up? I mean, it'll take a number of years before everybody will go behind you now. Well, there is one way. I'm still going to become a strategist, where I'll pick up this perk in about 7 months. Another 2 years, sappers, and another 2 years I'll be a strategist. Then I'm going to switch over to stewardship, even though my stewardship skill is at its weakest. And I should go for domain focus and go for the one I do not typically go to, administrator. I could start off with this and go that way to soon forgiven, just to have a little more reduction of monthly tyranny. Vassals less likely to join independent factions. Yeah, I think that's what I should be. In addition of Þórunn being a strategist and very strong woman, in which this whole gallant path isn't necessary because of her extremely high prowess. So perhaps you should go for domain focus, and then live into her elderly life. No doubt that she'll be live long, that she would also become an administrator eventually. It only gives out a little more stewardship, tiny bit of diplomacy, and a bit more vassal opinion up. So you could say, as much as she's a great strategist, but she wants to turn all this around in future. She wants to become a more competent administrator. So domain focus, and possibly later switch to duty when it's convenient. There's no need for architect, because what is there to construct? It would be nice to have popular figurehead, because the higher the popular opinion, the more voting strength you have on whoever you vote for to be the next successor. And upping a little more the domain number would be good. But yeah. So it's just more of continuing what we knew best. Just get it over with. And it should also be noted that from the previous episode, in Nizhny Novgorod, my exiled half-brother and rival, and same as my other half-brother and rival, they now went to Nizhny Novgorod. Fire! Last night, a fire threw several parts of my residence. Thankfully, because a few servants and guards were on duty, were on alert, no one was hurt. They were able to prevent the fire from growing out of control. That said, the fire still destroyed a decent portion of the building and property. It takes a ton to rebuild. That's what it is. My goodness, I had a small house fire. Times of people change. Sometimes those who are close to us become strangers. Dropnik Þórunn, my sister for Naslok smiles sadly. For you to murder. I feel like there's no friendship left between us. I know you still resent me, but I'll try to make it up to you still. But remember all the good times. Just give it another chance. What I was trying to say is, yeah, my exiled brothers became adventurers, as they did. And now they live over there, where there's zero development, populated by Mari Kosko with a large Khazar minority. They're Jewish. Because this land was part of a larger Khazarian realm before it broke apart. So this area here, which there's no buildings in this tribal area, is going to be his new home. I would make a remark that says, well, at least my brother is far away now. He lives in a log cabin where we have no contact with. And I can't even disinherit him. Lives by the Volga. And who knows, if he ever wants to sail down and go to the land of the Mordvins, maybe he should take up beekeeping. As long as the new heir, because that is the one that I am voting for now. Not to mention, you won't stop doing these classes. Raised voices at the thing meet. Thing meets are necessary chore for any job. All the free men in the area turning up to discuss local affairs, market, just of the privilege of that. As to be expected at such large guys, they have a way of turning heated, and this thing is no exception. I struggle to follow through the details through all the yelling, but it seems as though the men from Signapilki, being stubborn about the fly tipping of the rubbish of the town along the border of Hordaman, are good. Signapilki men are going to take this from Hordaman. It'll just be too busy finding their rivals next door to foment unrest gets to reach. The popular opinion will be up. Higher the popular opinion, your voting strength. So look at here. Total development modified by faith and heritage. Capital popular opinion. Okay, it's applied to the capital. Wherever the vassal is from, it applies to it. Whereas here it's at an all-time high. What's going on down there? Oh, this one's defensive. I wish I could help you. Not ours. Because I still like to see your independence preserved, no matter what. But I have no children. No heir. Which is because they voted for somebody else. And I'm sure some of you people are wondering, he's like, well, what happens in an unlikely scenario since you got so many enemies? Rivals, if you will. What happens if your character gets assassinated and then this game ends? Well, I'm not going to end a playthrough like that because the series is called the Sognsdal Saga. It doesn't end with her, if should she die suddenly without any heirs. It'll continue for the other landed members of this house, particularly like in case if she were to die in an unlikely scenario. It should play either Brynjolf II or Beyond Togir Sin of Visby, or even start a brand new adventure. It's Frody, all the way over to Nizhny Novgorod, and C2 if his descendants can try to, you know, make it back to Norway and all that. Again, that's just in case of some. I always have a backup plan. No, parlaying with pirates. It's with some suspicion that I received a delegation of disorderly thugs from the Vikings, presenting a letter from foreign Turkey. Fierce raiders and plunderers were both at sea and on land. These religious fundamentalists are some of the most notorious and deadly pirates in the world. Like any good record. And I listened to the stories of their piety and prowess with a mixture of awe and fear. It now seems that Þórunn is offering command of this gaggle of volunteers, provided I use them to raid and plunder for the gods. Okay, so the army will include special hard-to-kill Viking pirates man-at-arms. Or the reputable service should prove recruitable. Pirates that take orders, interesting. So I was thinking about raiding in the near future. So I'll get an army of 650 men here in the Dallas. Let me see. There it is. Jonas Viking pirates. They are skirmishers. They counter against heavy infantry and archers. Very effective when it's wintertime. 44 damage, 37.2 toughness, 40 pursuit, 45 screen. Size 400, with a few additional levels. Wow, that's a force multiplier. This is the second time that Þórunn is pregnant. First attempt didn't go so well because premature birth. Premature. That happened. Oh, meanwhile, I'm trying to learn Sami. Right of clergy. Saga recites a passage from the winter voice in the prologue. Saga self-run. Let's stand signing. Saga's proved to be the member of the clergy. Exgidia states, standing right next to the prisoner treating him scornfully. As such, she must be placed under cardinal custody. She is the mother of the second. Yeah, I'm gonna do this choice. So an entry challenge against her. 65% chance that she has an accident, which she's killed by me. I mean, I'm already a known murderer, so what could make it any worse? And there's a 35% chance that she managed to leave unscathed. Don't trip on your way out. She just died after her release. Killed by me. They know nothing. Oh, great. It's my other one. Shut up! Just to spite you. Personal champion. I'll name Aslog to be my personal champion. She's the best of the best. It's no secret that I'm working hard on learning the Sami language. It seems it's becoming common knowledge among the Sami peasantry. They refer to me as the Jotning that cares. A flattering thing indeed. Even the lower nobles are lauding my efforts. I feel like my efforts have brought the Norse and the Sam closer together. Make them forgive me, I cannot afford distractions. But I succeeded in learning that language. So perhaps I should send a letter to him and impress him with my knowledge. Ruling has been such exhausting work as of late. It's like no subject of military can wipe their ass without my express instruction. I was in the middle of planning a small getaway to a secluded dungeon stuffed with unimportant peasants when a server comes rushing. They babble about some new trivial catastrophe. I'll talk on that. Sisters the new heir. Remember, it is he, or she in this case, is the one that's expanding to Sami territory. My son and heir. My son and heir. My primary heir is not of the Red Dynasty. What are you talking about? This is the dynasty. And look, Herculean and intelligent. Just like what I wanted. When the first contract started, a great calm came on. It was known by words from Lord. As of a form one of God's greatest miracles after a long glorious struggle fought for a perfect little son. What name befits such a mighty man? We'll think about it. Tolgir. That'll be the name. Tolgir Þórunn. Switch the vote to my only son. I mean, they may not go for it, but primary heirs of the wrong dynasty. Right, they say that because they're voting for this one who's not of the right dynasty, but if he does inherit, well, he's still going to inherit all these lands. But at least it'll be an intelligence. I'm just having a look. Depends on viability. The current struggle phase. Just wondering, what does this affect? No, we got everything under control. My husband just died. Old age. I am thankful you have given me a son. My only son. But I'm still not. I'm still not. Having a few more children wouldn't hurt. Now the question is, who? Is there anybody in the world that is of my culture within the diplomatic range that has anything that involves being a genius and all that? Actually, any man. That is not landed. It's hard to be specific these days. And not married. Different Sognsdal. No genius. No intelligence. There's only one. Riksgodi Frosti. A Strathclyde. I shall subdue. No. Oh, he's craven. He's scared of me. Won't accept that either. Now look here again. Check. Here's plus 5, 15, 15, 15. That knocks. Oh yeah, that definitely knocks everything down. Okay, never mind then. But I still want him, so just ask him if you want to marry anyway. How about that? How about now? Still no. Small chance that you could try to improve upon it. And I want him for his smarts. Perhaps we'll get to know each other a little better. Once I make him like me more, then I'll try to seduce him, and then he'll accept my offer of marriage, and then here we go. Oh, here we go again. Two of my vassals are pushed on. Another chances to reach the throne first. Jarl, strict secretary, but last one. My lady murders haunted the cities throughout the Mulberger. Would be civilizing if we'd stood around the towns for hours. At least over the civilians. Yes, sir. Okay then. Kicks on safety. Is each man or the protector. Panic or will castrate the townspeople. This assault is safety to make with violence. Here we go. Over the last 3 days, I've heard tell of mighty hero peasantry, won the hearts and minds of the common people through incredible deeds and matches. This hero goes by the name of Þórunn, who's been defending the small folk of the Norse raiders, and has traveled all the way to McDowell's signals with me. There is no doubt that he's a great hero. However, my court is adamant that I do not elevate a common beyond their station. Hey, I know you. Yeah. You're that guy I saw earlier. Actually, no, that coat of arms is different. Robust. One of the real good ones. You shall be rewarded with a place in my household. And don't mind me being a tyrant and all that, but we shall be a loyal servant. The next petitioner is extremely angry and related croquet, but the previous have been shown. He relays that some of my words, like the past through croquet of us, recently. They've looted, pillaged, despoiled of villages and farms. It's an absolute travesty, my friend, and I will not stand for it, because what shall I do? Take that land off of him? Why would I do that? My warriors march in defense of us all. Stop complaining! Damned heads. Oh, I'm stretching. Okay, well, we're considering raiding. Actually, that starts now, because we better get that good loot down here before anyone else gets it. So, trip to England it is. Winning in the defense of rustic outline. That's good. Sognsdal Dynasty is known far and wide. We are now noteworthy. By the time my friend comes to his plan, he seems to have already made up his mind. Serving with the tragedy in Emperor's car will bring both wealth and glory. I cannot deny that part, but I could deny his request. On the other hand, would it be right to stop someone in the pursuit of glory? He has the skills to prove it. He's a young man in the prime of his life in Opa, so go with dearest blessing. His skills shall be improved. When he comes back, he'll be one of the best warriors in all of Norway. I should take part because I could get to there faster than all the others. Used to be 3 months, John, now it's only 2 months. I say that's because we have engineered for destruction. To the incautious struck me thought. A spider has left its lair and scurries across the floor. What an opportune time for the boot of justice to scratch it for good. It is well known that war is a perilous affair. An enemy sword could knock your head off like a knife through butter. A lucky arrow could strike you on the ramparts. Doesn't discard the soldier perhaps by did murder you. So always a threat of camp. I do not demand a grand dramatic exit. I just pray for your demise. That man, my rival who's at the call for Finland. Well, wait a minute. Stop. Nizhny Novgorod, yes. Yes. It's like his brother's there. And Holocanuta, who was with them at the same court as he is. And is like, well, we conquered this new land, and now we have to live here in exile. And Holocanuta, at 41 years old, who has a wife and 2 daughters. And he's kind of inspired of his accomplishment. And so he's thought, well, I want to accomplish it too. So at the moment he's at the Gulf of Finland, which is over there. So he's decided to gather his army from any of them, which I'd like to think, if I was going to be a role-playing officer, that he did return to Norway just to gather a couple of adventurers who decides to go with him. And they decide that he wants to be neighbors of his brother. I mean, they may not be friends, but they're willing to cooperate with one another to carve up their whole new world for themselves. And so they will sail up to there, to the Volga, and then they'll go up to the Otka, and wants to take over Mischera, which is the home of a mix of Momian people, which who they are exactly, the Volga Finnics. They're known to be storytellers, frequent festivities, and the culture blending. And the Mescheria, that's where musical theorists also have religion blending and culture blending. Quite an interesting peoples that live there. And so he's willing to carve out the land for himself, which is mainly populated by people who are native to the region, but also of Jewish faith, because of this was former Khazar territory. Still a large minority of the Konosko, which used to be the land. They even tried to introduce Tengris. But in Tula, Khazars and Mordvas form a small minority there. A longhouse is to be built there, and in Monum, longhouse is currently being built on the several trading posts already made there. And so that means they will be neighbors, but they do have 2 allies that may join. The tiny chiefdom of Shika. That's pretty much it. So it's likely they will win. And that means they're going to continue to spread our dynasty more, which I highly appreciate that. What are you doing? You're getting more and more land than I could. Man. If I keep up like that, I may have to give you Yamta land. Because I don't hold lands there personally. But once you finish that little affair, I'll give it to you. You're all ready. Okay. Let's get to work. An elegant candlestick. This thing's about to be broken. Not learning any languages at the moment. Fix that. This thing is going to be useful. Because it gains a little bit of prestige while a tiny bit of monthly lifestyle experience and learning monthly lifestyle. monthly learning also. So a device used to hold candles, ticketed to help its owner do everyday activities such as reading or eating in the late hours of the evening. It is made of ceramic. Wonder. Integration phase. Wondering if it'll make it easier when we try to establish him now full storage despite the fact its vitality is very, very low. Finger bones of a drugstore. A peddler in a cloak of 1,000 baubles and knickknacks on 2 wraps. Rattles it up. My lady, I have an artifact of grand illusion, with which you may convince all you possess magical power. She brandishes a colorful fabric along a very thin string. It appears dormant at first, but by manipulating the thread, one can affect the illusion of worm to come to life. Think of it how impressed the Lord's. Worm on a string artifact. Okay, I do enjoy some ringing. Let me see that. Let me see that. Worm on a string. A toy which would probably impress an infant child. Attracts your opinion lower. Oh, wait a minute, don't I have... Hey. My son can have this. There's your sculpture for you. Just something for you to have. Settlement of London, an important stronghold in the greater Middlesex, has fallen to my raiders. We have run to the vast tracts of land and made it a perfect subject of shining treasures. All they built in. Choose from. For once, bring me down this fun. This just adds more to the gold into the raiding army. And I'll gain a bit of prestige for it. It's money intensive these days. Loot intensive, I should say. Bastards. Sweden's raiding as well. Sappers. This will make the siege progress for those with heavy infantry, archers, skirmishers. This will make things a little more easier. Now in 2 years I will become a strategist. want that. It's just anything to keep me up on my toes. Reflecting on the... As I'm sitting and meditating on the finer points, I cannot help but to think back when I journeyed to Sognsdal on a pilgrimage. The trip was far from the recording comforts of my life as a journey, but relief I felt upon arriving there made all worth the trouble. I believe I'll forever feel closer to Lulu. Sound like your mother. Oh, accept. Just a few more areas and then we'll get out of here. Because we got enough loot. We got no gold? Right now. Oh, I know what I'm going to do to you exactly. Alright. What's your time? Although I kind of have an idea of that we can just raid somewhere else besides England and Franca and occasionally Holland all the dang time. Like we should go further. Like say down to Andalusia or Italia. Oh, what the? Constantinople is under the control of Great Moravia. Principessa Europea of Salerno. He does have the claim there. So, a lot of 6 passed to them. Oh, I think I know where we're raiding next. I think I know where we're raiding next. It's held by a man who is of Cumbrian culture, so the name of Constantinople is Kyrgyzstanian. Okay, any of you experts on the what language is that? The Cumbric or Cumbrian language, or anything that's related to Anglo-Saxon or no, they're not Anglo-Saxon. They're Bretons. Breton, Celtic people. I don't know. There's a name like that. But anyways, his residence is there. And in Trachea is Thrace, no doubt. So instead lives in Gallipoli, if you will. Who was married to some Nubian man. Oh no, not married. Betrothed. But it's actually no. as in. They're all Nubians. So they came from there. Yes, indeed, you're correct. Then they inherited that part down there? Well, as per rules of succession, they're going to go independent whenever she passes on. This is interesting turn of events here. It's matrilineal. So, installed by faction demand, inherited, so they called it a headless, who was 1 year old, was decapitated by this man who himself died in an accident just last year. Everything just happened last year. This all happened last year. What the hell's going on in that part of the world? We're making that official. Next place to raid will be over there. Possibly somewhere else beyond. I do want a little more additional loot. And we're gonna get it. What we got was good. Well, honestly, we could have just landed on. Yeah, split. Split up. Let's just all go over there, rest up for a while, then we'll assemble, and then I will proceed to, if we could get to the land that used to be called Constantinople, but instead it's been given a name that's in Hungaric language. Give Seduce a chance, and remember, if you succeed, the more prestige you get, because that's what the thing says. Seduce success chance plus 15. You gain prestige for success. The riskier the seduction, the more prestige gained. How much is the question? Ah, crap. Now we're over the supply limit. Well, it is no matter. You're able to gain what little you got. Share supplies. How far is it? 5 months travel, so here's the route we're going to be taking. We're going to go down to this sea, and then we're going to sail up the Oder. Sail up the Oder, near to where the source is. We'll go overland through Pradec na Moravici, Perzhov, and then we'll be onto the Morava River, which will meet with the Danube. And we sail down the Danube, into the Gulf of Varna, and then into the Bosphorus, and then you're there. 5 months travel. Now, remember, not only I have the naval speed, plus 25, in addition of holding the holy site of Vanaheim, which is here. Naval speed plus 20. We're going to be doing it with limited supplies. We're only going to raid once, and then we're going to come back up there. No. We're saving him. House arrest. I got special plans for him. One of my rivals is dead. Died in captivity. As he deserved. Was the husband of Sognsdal. I'll find you another one. So do. Sister and friend. See, I know how to make things last in supply. Here we are. We can't rate it. Okay. Oh, you idiot. You idiot. You forgot to turn on rating. Okay, you know what? Let's disband and then reassemble. Back over there, so that way we can have supplies again. So, you could say, false alarm. This time we're going to do it for real, but at least we know the route. Who dares? Blessings upon you in your house. I have long coveted your lands, only to be denied possession of it. No more. The time has come for me to get what I deserve. Then go more. Oh, this war again? They want this land? And now it's Sweden. It's up to it. He's got allies. That's a vassal. They're in this together. These two may join. We've been betrayed. Sort of. Once you stop moving, stop raiding. Well, it's time to put the strategist in stuff to use. Actually, it won't matter. We'll be seeing them by the time. If these two have joined, we're 8,000 strong. Remember, we dealt with things worse than this. We're no longer a raiding army. The objective is so we should sail around and we shall meet them in battle. Guess the great raid of Constantinople is going to have to wait. Now it's home defense. But with all this money that you gathered, if it gets real ugly, bring mercenaries. Sweet smiles and little ones. Just like other children his age. My son and heir, Courtiers, sometimes lies and tests boundaries. However, he often avoids suspicion of his sweet demeanor, and people always forgive him when he does get caught. I will keep an eye on this one. Okay, don't move. Let them come. We shall meet them in battle soon. chase him down. They brought reinforcements, mercenaries. Stop! Going a river crossing. Head this way. Okay. We got plenty of good fighters, and there's also some not some good ones here as compared to everybody else, but hopefully everyone will do well here. And that includes members of my dynasty here. Except you, you're not kin. What happened to you? Oh, wait a minute, he's Varangian. He's with us. Like that's ever gonna stop you? So we'll get some of them before more reinforcements that they'll bring. So hopefully we'll do alright. And very soon I will become a strategist in about 4 months. And that means more enemy fatal casualties. And we'll get to cross rivers and streets without advantage penalties. That'd be good. So I could switch away from strategy and go to what I originally want still, and that's to be an administrator. I'll be more of an administrator after this war. Ready? More reinforcements arrive. Alfred has been killed. Alfred lost one of ours. She was my aunt. Yes, I knew her. She was the last living, she was the last living sibling of grandfather and grandmother. Last living child of my grandparents. All the defenses are the same. Look at that siege progress, thanks to the besieging soldiers we have and men-at-arms. And don't forget those Viking parts that we also got. It shouldn't take long now. This is going to be a disaster. Should I ban it or just... My culture has discovered Viking art. Well, I'm not the culture head. Now, Viking art. Also, I want to make a little note here, ladies and gentlemen. One of the mods that I use, Medieval Art, has been updated, and they do not use the effects of unlocks this line of buildings and rulers may receive events about artists, craftsmen, or artifacts. They don't use that anymore. So they made a bit of a significant change to the art of medieval arts, but this will remain. This particular version will remain because I know there is going to be another patch for another one of the mods, which is the Rice mod for the North Atlantic Flavor Pack. And we'll also have some changes to it, but this will remain the old version of this mods. And this is part of medieval arts. The Viking art here, for example, then when you later get to the High Medieval era, you see stave arts there as an example. This will remain for the rest of this playthrough because I am not updating the game, as well as its mods associated with it, to be of the current versions as we on this day of recording we are in now, which is just to demonstrate what that game in some parts was like when I was recording versus at present as we're in now, just to show you. Anyways, those burial mounts things, I'll have a look at those in future when we're done with this one. Not to mention you got money to spend. Capture landed ruler. I step out of my tent. The siege camp sprawls out before me. A chaotic ragtag collection of wagons, tents, and piled high piles of driftwood that the carpenters are burning for fire. Planets snap in the wind in places, held by crooked tree limbs. Everything is covered in a thick sheen of gray damp like a mud-laden lake. My low retainer approaches and informs me that the siege is ended. I gather my bodyguards head up to the edge of the tent. How about the northern one? Stands for me, a lake of ruin. The fields between, nothing but skeletal trees offer any shade, and faint sound from broken carts and wagons littered around. Vultures circle overhead. Grieving widows clutch small children to their bosoms as they flee, their clothes tattered and torn. Limited looting. And since I'm the leader of this siege, we can have these decisions. An inspired person. Anyone else? I only want the inspired person, so I will decide on a case-by-case basis. Release. 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 God damn it, where's that person? I know I'm getting more and more stressed, and I know how to reduce it. Just give me the damn... This is the one we're looking for. Yes. How many are left? 3 more. Okay. You two are getting released. Actually, you can be imprisoned. Well, you... be released. Strategical impasse. I'm sitting around the map table with discuss our strategy with the ongoing war. Banks fist on the table loudly proclaims we should charge the enemy directly and crush them with the sheer might of our armies. Once then explains how we can watch what our foes do and respond accordingly. It is my right to decide our ultimate course of action. I know how we can employ both strategies. Everything will work. Trust me on this. Occupy this side of this side. And if need be, we could try to work our way, eventually get to dinner itself and end this war quickly. Maybe very stressed, severe health penalty. And look at here, my health is still good. I need to take my frustrations out on somebody. And somebody right now. Yes, you're at war with. with that man. You could do that to one of his courtiers. Alright, which one of you is the best warrior out of all of them? Because I want to fight somebody. But they say it's an act of tyranny, even though you're doing it to some other countrymen and not here locally. Don't care! For a few brief moments, Gilbert and I faced some lace out circles, each watched for an opening. I heft my sword, my mother's sword, between myself, while I clutches the sword from my hand. This one may be only till for a spot of his knees winders, but the sudden twitch our bout begins. Gilbert shifts to a defense stance, his sword forming a damn near penetrable wall of perfect grace in between me and him. Me thinks I need to make an example of you. I can't count how many people I've run through with my sword. Maybe Gilbert will be the next, maybe not. The rain of savage blows must have been worried about him. Gilbert counters of a fierce hail of quick slash almost running me repeatedly. My form is good, for only small errors. His stance is formidable. My opponent is still holding off my blows well. He seems close to faltering. Strike. There. My leap into action, launching a flurry of quick slashes, drowning myself hard against his guard. Wearing him down with each exploit time strike, he retaliates with a smooth, flowing series of quick slashes and powerful cleaves, each strike forcing me back a little. My form is good for my smallest. His stance is incredible. We are evenly matched with victory bouncing on knife edge. Is that the best you got? You can't even hit me. Time and again, I backpedal, dodge, and weave, always keeping just within a tempting target distance. Soon, Gilbert's showing signs of exhaustion. He seems to vibrate for a second, then he explodes in fury, screaming loud enough to shake the earth, throwing us on me with a rare savagery. Form is excellent, with little chance of mistake, and this stance is incredible. I have yoked enough opponents got around, I seem only at the clean victory. This could be the sudden death round now. Here's again. My sword arm moves fast as lightning, strikes hard as sundered stone. Blow by blow, I beat my opponent to a bloody concussed submission, powering him to the ground and fall. Fury that there can lend me. When all that is the current power of the bleeding man. I wonder if I've gone too far, then Gilbert coughs hard enough to lose grip on the sword and allow myself a little sigh of relief. With the worry over, I kicked my opposing opponent away and laid down my own against his throat. It takes a few tries, but he gets to it out eventually. I am victorious. That's one way to reduce stress, huh? Here it is. Now I'm a strategist, which makes the strategy focus unnecessary, as you'll still get your +3 martial, +1 diplomacy, but now these enemy fatal casualties will be caused a lot more due to the combination of strategist and aggressive attacker. It's almost like having a commander trait within itself, in addition that you can cross rivers and straits without advantage penalties. But I'm still determined to become an administrator. It only takes 3 years to go through all this. So I'd rather have tyranny reduction. That's my main priority. Sure, there'll be moments I'm still causing. At least it's a lot faster to bring the walls down. We'll engage them in combat again soon. I cannot risk discovery. We may have to talk again some other time. Ghosty. Step out of my tent. The siege camp sprawls out before me. Jumble of soggy tents, miserable men in grinning clothes, and cookie fires and smoke. Flags and standards flutter in the fading light. It smells of smoke and sweat and horse dung. The lower tent approaches informs me that the siege is ended. I gather my bodyguards head to the edge. Out of, Anglory. Stands for a wasteland of mud and blood, charred husks of thatched roofed houses and carcasses of animals. The fields in between, lit by a row of torches. Soldiers advance grimly, eliminating the wounded. Bones crack and crumble under my feet. Survivors huddled, speechless and panic-stricken, around any fire, just as a frightened fox runs to its hiding place. The acrid odor of burnt flesh and thatch, blended with the coppery flavor of blood caked to dust, clings to the air. To prison only important ones. They're gonna try to run the long way. I think they're going for the main objective. We only got one of them, at least. Big bullet. They're going to try to retake one of the occupied territories back. But it seems we'll get them all here. Killed one of them. Good job. Occupied dollar book. So that way we'll maintain our presence on this side of the river and the lake there. Oh shit, that reminds me. Wants to read a representation of everyday life. Ah yes. That reminds me. Where's the inspired person? There you are. You want to weave something glorious? I'll get you recruited out of here. One wants to read a representation of everyday life. The other, something showcasing the untamed beauty of nature. Something which captures nature's beauty. I step out of my tent and rub my eyes. Siege camp sprawls out for me. A haphazard melee of tents, carts, campfires, and livestock. Fierce flags bearing Helvetic birds are spread across the barren crags. People bustle about, loading mules and chicken supplies. A thin column of smoke climbs up above the camp, and the smell of cookie fires fills the air. My loyal retainer approaches and informs me that the siege has ended. I gather my bodyguards and head to the edge of Yeah, now the Dalibor extends home. A charcoal bastion. I see ravaged, bandit fields, starving cattle, deer picked almost clean. Little survives. The settlement is a shattered cadaver, gnawed on by 1,000 scavengers, one atop the other. Survivals huddle in the ruins, weeping for their dead. Shall we go straight for the capital? A little more renown will do. Triumph, love, prosperity. See to if we can get Moses. Or just end up in a war battle, because I do not want to prolong it. How much would you be willing to pay in reparations? 115. Which of course to our standard, that's what we would say around here in my country in real life. Chump change. Blessings upon you and your house. At least you began to respect me a little more. I mean, I like that phrasing. Blessings upon you and your house, instead of saying something negative, like some of my defeated opponents. Particularly my rivals. Which they often say something that isn't, kind. We'll get back to business in just a moment. Yeah. Eek. Now, the raids. Let's recover the size of our levies first, and then we shall go raiding together. Now it's time to hold the blood also. Which I know who's going to be the one that's get to be sacrificed. I recall there's an empty space because they say you can build. Burial mounts. Here it is. That's what that is. This is what it does. Holder of this holding. 0.10 per month. Oh, you see what I see? I'm gonna need to hold another land for myself. But the question is, where? Unless I get an unruly vassal. I mean, you're becoming too much of a worry, but he's terrified, so he'll never oppose me directly. So he's the man that's responsible in something on the lands. If I were to pull off this tyranny thing one more time, I could tell him to stop. I think it has to be somewhere where there's room. Doesn't have city planning. City planning. He's going for months, which helps with the fortification plans. That's good. Nowhere near with this. Why am I thinking of this idea? No, that one's good. Because I'm thinking, it's like, what would be a good place to build if we decided to go with the idea of having burial mounts? And I would have loved it to be here, but unfortunately, it says that no buildings constructed this time. In other words, you can't remove that. Neither is this one. Same as that. Actually. You sure? And how come I could do it with this? Unless you want to sacrifice one. I like the supply limit. Guess you can only do that against warrior lodges. But it doesn't say that for here. Double check. What you would be sacrificing. Okay, let's go for that. Let's go for barrel mounts, which, as a reminder, it's just slight increase attacks, a bit more to supply limit, light reinforcement re-up, but more importantly the renown. The other alternative is, oh, just grab another domain from somewhere, particularly up there, but it belongs to him. So I'll probably retract that vassal off of him, if he doesn't mind. I know it's an act of tyranny, but it could be tyranny, and we'll consider it later. Again, it's just an idea. I would have loved to have the barrel mounts here in Signifilki, because this was the old home, obviously. Well met, Leech. Patronage of unlocked the Lulu. This is weaving representation of everyday life or being going. Please take a skip down. You want to miss the chance to make Christian masterpiece. Yeah. Same applied to down there. Now here in Nidaros, yeah, it's replaceable, but why not Signifilki? What's wrong with Signifilki? Yeah, you got it. Try it. Yeah. Now, who's the landed ruler that we got from Cornwall? You. You will soon be sacrificed because you are landed, and therefore there's more piety with that. Landed characters will release count rank that is a preferable sacrifice and is of a hostile or evil faith. Oh, did they win? Razin. Oh, brothers. Well, it looks like they've abandoned their ways of the Norse and they've taken up the new culture and faith for themselves. He's embraced local traditions, so this formerly Scandinavian character has embraced the culture faith of their new homeland, though they can still raise rune stones. Father Canuta failed. Now he went to England. So he's failed on the conquest strategy. That's what happened. He must have failed that one. Doesn't say. He was killed some time ago. So Oberanosh is the name of the area. Did recently conquer. Now he's now my half brother and rival. Still too far away to interact, but he's got children, huh? All raised in their ways, including their formerly Greek nephew, who doesn't stand to inherit anything because he's a bastard. Done it again. Making vassals of other people. Lord Father. Along with their strange goods, merchants bring tall tales of dissonance, unverifiable, full of wonder. A group of Sami peddlers brought Azuaga objects. Said to come from a faraway court of the Great War. Tyrant color of Sognsdal. Immersion, the leading trader, grinned started. This unique axe could be yours for a special price, of course, but a likely yarn indeed. I'd like to hear some guidance. There's certainly no fake news. This work is indeed strong and of high quality. No. Go on it. He got a cat and a dog. Invests in music. Oh, I just remembered. What the is that man's name? Frosty. I never had a chance to try to improve it because I was in the middle of a war. Left us. What a tragedy. Because they got married. Hey, you're unlanded. No, his paranoia is he's gonna know if I try to murder him. There we go. This is just to improve relations here locally. Now, it's time to raid Constantinople. Because it's still part of it. Nobody's disturbed it. All the great loot awaits us there. Even though they're tribute control there, so we better get in there before they start a peasant revolt there. And I want to be there for it. It's just gonna be one raid there and then return. Not that man. My only son. No. I got to be not bleeding the army so I can try to improve the selection scheme. So let someone else have that honor. Aslog. Yes. She should have the honor to raid Constantinople. Even though it'll be a much longer way to getting there. because I'm not going to be there to travel faster. So it'll be 6 months. Fine tapestry. A large wool tapestry of very fine craftsmanship. The cloth depicts a courtier. Jot named Þórunn sits majestically at the center of the scene, while vassals, emissaries, defeated enemies, and servants wait in line to pay homage. Huh. That sounds like something she would have thought of. Recording a memory. Some moments must be recorded forever. That time Jarl Loki of Vestergotland declared war on me is one of them. That was during the Civil War period. It might be a painful memory, but someone has to pass it on to the next generation. I might not be a good writer, but with some time and effort, I could surely pen something myself. Then again, my dear friend is so much better at writing than I am. Surely she would help at last. Assembling and illustrating a tome can quickly become a costly endeavor, however. It's not a good idea to have a best friend with an elderly person. I'll record it myself. Folded wound. I have become the new culture head. Is that so? No, probably will soon be performing for the court. I don't know. A simple request to have her change the performance to dedication force to a target my reflection. He is an analytic craven. It'll be a bold declaration. Now, where were we? Yes, the fine tapestry. Now, the memory of Þórunn. The tome retells the story when Jarl Loki of Vestergotland declared war on Þórunn, composed by Þórunn. Just a book. So little something. Not terribly useful in some circumstances. And anyways, off they go. How dare you embarrass me in public? Did you want me to have to explain what Charles meant to the entire court? Oh gosh, that means that there's no chance of succeeding. Now I understand why I'm the culture head now. Go for city planning instead. I know it takes many years to get there, but it may add some interest. We'll do all of these things in the next episode. Okay, let me be there. Raid or trade? As my troops and I prepare to sack the lands of Palestine, our first scouts report back. It seems the local towns are rich, but many are heavily fortified. They could be well called out by vengeful armies before we could break it to the juiciest targets. All is not lost. The art of good raiding, is all in exploiting art. Perhaps we could arrange trade and tribute in exchange for staying our blades. It's like, depends on who you ask. One doesn't like me more, the other one likes me less. A truce with the ruling Krylova could be invaluable. So there's two ways, there's no percentage guarantees, but 44 loot to the current raiding army? Plus, that would give me a mental break because you're not doing the thing like how a Viking should be doing. But I'll just say, yes, we could probably make money trading. Pillage it anyway. We're here what we came for. 40 days. Look at the garrison. The fort level. And this is how long it's going to take us. Because the base, the amount of raiding soldiers we're bringing, the Reaver, living off land, port type, we'll get it in no time. We're not here to trade. We're here for the greatest loot known to the whole world. It's there. You'll never get another opportunity like this again. $100 loot. See? Look how much that gives you in one trip. Now you can all return. Take it away. Now, come back home. Once again, Svithild is at it again. Split Denmark in half. Below its balcony, most windows are lit by one globe. Even from the ground, I see moon itself. My false drums loudly in my ears, both afforded the chance to bet him, as well as visiting Dumbarton. It's left me in deep walks. Frosted, look outside and shout up my name. Attempt to gain attention in an unobtrusive way. Dedicated. My friend, when we approach you with concerns about the state of our education materials. We can make do, but imagine a high-tech show could reach you for your own better materials. New wax tablets, parchment, perhaps even ink. Oh, of course you shall have the funds. There's a light from opening door across the road. So let's spell from out. It quickly dims. I see a brash crimson on his wrist and dies collisions. What are you doing here? Oh, please leave me alone. What? You are the son of my dark night. You have no chance at all. Hopeless. After all the money that swaying you put, you wasted your valuable years away for not having any more children. I'll settle with this man. I'll seduce you right here. Just got tired of this. We will end this episode as soon as the ships arrive. Or in this case, ended on January of 937. There you are. I guess that's not necessary. So on that note, we will end the episode right here on January 9th, 37. So we will do all these activities here. All these decisions that relates to Greenland and the expeditions out west. As this episode was mainly about, raiding for loot, and we decided to go on a great raid to Constantinople and realize that we can be there once. It kind of makes me wonder, can we go further? Like, what if we just went beyond, like, to the east? Like sailing up the rivers, like the Amudarya, where you can raid Sogdiana or Khorasan, Balk. Or then sail down the Mediterranean, go through the Canal of the Pharaohs, and all the other places where whoever's going to get their attention. It depends on which area has the most development. And so therefore, more development means there's a lot more loot in there somewhere. Like this one, for example. You are really thinking about all the expeditions, or even down to Tamil Nadu. I mean, obviously, if you go to places like that, you know that's all too far away to interact, so you can't declare war on conquest. No, I am not doing what some other people would do. Pala Dynasty, Bama Bengali. He's trying to cover up his own little empire there. Even though it's kingdom size still. As it's Pagan and Banga. But if there's only reason why what I would do these faraway raids is do any of these have good artifacts we can get it off this treasury, or any court artifacts that might be interesting to take it off of them. Because there's small chances each time you loot something and you may get an artifact off of them. Court artifacts in particular. And of course, there's always Rome. Man, what happened over there? Do you have any idea how far this all goes? And plus, some of them are tribal. So you're probably thinking too far-fetched. Just only raid the ones that has the most value. Especially if they got royal courts with court artifacts that may or may not be worth taking. I don't know, it's something I have to think about when we just continue our, travels from the west, and then to the south, then to the east. Now I'm just kind of interested in the idea of how Þórunn Strongarm decides to go on these great raiding expeditions to lands far away from here, whether they have any value or not. Or the possibility of bringing them back some artifacts, if we can. Obviously, my half-brother over there, he's got nothing. Nothing to speak of. I don't know, I'm just really intrigued by this idea. That we should do it 3 times as long as Sweden doesn't attack us again. So, we hope you people will join us in the next episode as we're going on more adventures. So join us. Until then, so long for now.